Hey guys, tonight we slip beneath the neon haze of downtown Los Angeles into a place where the music pulses like a heartbeat and secrets cling to the walls like smoke. You'll wander through a club where the crowd is electric, the lights are blinding, and yet no one sees the man in the mask. You probably won't survive this one. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your city and local time in the comments. Now, let's ease into tonight's journey together. It starts like 1,000 nights before. You walk through the velvet rope of Club Halcyon, a rooftop lounge off Melrose that always smells like sweat, champagne, and unresolved arguments. It's a Thursday in July, one of those dry Los Angeles nights when the wind feels like a blow-dryer, and the city seems alive with its own restless heat inside. The bass is a heartbeat under your feet, glasses clink, laughter sharpens the air, and beneath it all, something strange begins. You don't notice him at first, no one does. The man wears a plastic white mask, the kind you'd buy from a Halloween store in bulk, blank face, slits for eyes, no features. He's dressed normally, otherwise jeans, dark jacket, gloves like he's cold. At 11:04 p.m., he passes through the rear entrance security gate. Security doesn't stop him. There's no bouncer on that door. That door is supposed to stay locked. The first person to interact with him is a bartender named Miguel Perez, who'll later tell police, "I just thought it was someone being edgy, you see. All kinds in here." But he didn't talk, just stared. You walk by the same bar, barely missing the figure as he melts into the crowd. What happens next unfolds in 24 silent minutes captured in a surveillance system that's somehow recorded without sound, despite being fully functional. Hours earlier, 24 minutes in which the power flickers, a bathroom mirror shatters, no one's inside, and a man in the DJ booth swears he saw the masked figure staring at him in the reflection. But not when he turned around. At 11:29 p.m., the fire alarm triggers. It's silenced immediately. The footage never shows him leaving. Detectives later isolate frames low resolution, distorted by the club's LED lighting where the mask glows faintly. One still shows him standing perfectly still behind a group of dancers, unnoticed. In another, he's facing the wall of a VIP booth, head tilted sideways as if listening to the drywall. No sound, no exit, just gone. One witness, club promoter Tasha Monroe, said, "I thought he was a dancer hired for the night, but he didn't move, just stood there, dead still, like his shoes were nailed to the floor." She laughs awkwardly during her interview. That laugh never quite reaches her eyes. Then the texts start. At 1:13 a.m., Jordan Vega, an up-and-coming digital artist with 70K followers, texts her roommate from outside. "I think he followed me, the masked guy. I'm going back in to check something." She never comes back out. Her phone is later found near the rear exit, still recording audio. On the file, wind, a dog barking, and what sounds like a single hollow knock as if someone tapped on glass just inches from the mic. The rest is static. The next morning, the club posts about minor electrical issues and cancels events for the weekend. LAPD doesn't issue a public statement for 3 days. When they do, it's short, no confirmed threat, ongoing investigation. But word spreads fast. Reddit threads, TikTok clips, even a bootleg copy of the silent footage stitched with horror music. People watch it like they're decoding a ghost story. Comments flood in. "Why doesn't anyone see him? I counted 5 times he shows up." And nitrogen monoxide. One looks, dude's reflection disappears at 11:19 timestamp. But none of that's in the official report. And Jordan Vega, still missing. No ransom, no evidence of violence, just one text, one phone, one knock. You walk the alley behind Club Halcyon the next evening, trying to understand what she saw. You pass a backdoor camera installed the morning after the incident. It's already malfunctioning. The screen flickers to black. The only thing you can hear is the beat from inside, muffled through the wall. And somewhere above you, a vent creaks. You look up, nothing there. But for a second, just long enough to convince yourself it's real, you swear you see the glint of a white mask in the upstairs window. You're inside the evidence room now. Cold fluorescent lights hum above you. The air smells like dust and oxidized metal, burnt electronics. and the slow ache of waiting to long for truth. On a table, a laptop displays the night's footage from Club Halcyon. The screen is split between angles: main entrance, bar, hallway, near the bathrooms, and the rooftop lounge. Each feed is grainy, washed out by club lights and saturated neon. The cameras should capture everything, but somehow, they don't. You watch the masked figure move through the crowd on Cam 3, his posture wrong to fluid, like he's sliding instead of walking. You rewind, pause, zoom, and now, he's gone. Rewind again. This time, he's there but closer to the camera than before. He didn't move forward, the frame didn't cut, but somehow, he's right in front of you. This anomaly isn't isolated. Detective Carla Ingram, who was assigned the case that same week, stated in an internal memo later leaked, surveillance timestamps don't align. Camera to lost 3 seconds at 11 hours 19 minutes and for seconds. But camera 5 skips ahead 5 seconds at the same moment opposite angles. Physics doesn't match. Movement doesn't line up. It's like someone edited live footage without ever accessing the system. IT specialists were brought in to rule out tampering. They didn't. They couldn't. They said the files weren't edited, just fractured, as if something distorted the recordings before they were saved. And then there's the hallway glitch. At 11 hours 21 minutes and 16 seconds p.m., on a feed aimed at the rear hallway, the footage mirrors itself for 6 frames. Left becomes right. The club's logo flips backwards. The emergency light reads ticks instead of exit during those mirrored frames. The masked figure turns and looks directly into the lens. In the unmirrored frame, 1 second later he's gone. The hallway is empty. One technician reviewing the files, Darren Kleinfeld, later quit without explanation. In a forum post discovered months later, he wrote, "I watched it 30 times, same second, same glitch, but every time I replayed it, his head tilted further, like he knew I was watching, and still no witnesses describe seeing him. Not even the ones who appear next to him on camera." You study frame 5537. A group of 5 partygoers dancing by the back wall. The masked man stands inches behind them. No one reacts. One woman bumps into him. He doesn't flinch. She stumbles, looks confused, then keeps dancing. Another glitch occurs at frame 5680. A strobe light flashes and the mask glows blue for just 1 moment. There's no blue light in the club's lighting grid. You flip to the audio. One of the Mixan ambient rooftop recorder picked up something at 11 hours 26 minutes and 50 seconds p.m. Faint, undistorted, a whisper, "Don't look behind you." You play it again, then again. It never changes. The voice is androgynous, flat, almost robotic. You run it through noise analysis software. It spikes on a strange frequency, exactly 1917 kHz, barely audible to most adults. That frequency shows up in no other part of the recording. You try the external footage, street cameras from across the block. That's when you discover something chilling. At the exact moment Jordan Vega texts her roommate 1:13 a.m., all exterior footage freezes for 14 seconds, not corrupted, just paused. Her text reads, "I think he followed me." The video resumes with a flicker. She's gone. The alley behind Club Halcyon shows no motion, no exit path, no struggle. But one frame at 1 hour 13 minutes and 9 seconds shows a shadow moving on the rooftop across the street. Problem is, that building is vacant and has been for 3 years. Detective Ingram's notes reveal her growing unease. She began sleeping in her office, became reclusive, finally transferred out of homicide. Her last case file notation reads, either this man knows how to erase himself from digital memory, or we're not chasing a man at all. She left a post-it note on her desk. It had 2 words, "Turn around." No one knows what it meant. You pull away from the screens, your eyes burning. The camera's caught everything, and yet you feel like you know less than before. You rewind, pause, frame 5888. The crowd shifts, and there, just barely on the very edge of the screen, a hand, gloved, outstretched, resting gently on Jordan Vega's shoulder. She never looks back, and neither do you, at least, not yet. The streets of Melrose Avenue have their own rhythm. Teta parlors next to vegan cafes, streetwear pop-ups with lines wrapped around the block, murals of saints and sinners in neon halos. The day is noise and sunlight, but the night hums with stories that don't make it into police reports. You're back outside Club Halcyon now, 3 nights after the incident. The temporarily closed sign flaps lazily in the warm air. An empty energy drink can rattles against the curb. A single red rose lies just inside the barricade. No note, no name, and when you ask around, people know what you're talking about. They just don't want to say it out loud. You mean that guy in the mask? The Uber driver shrugs, eyes fixed on the road ahead. He's been around forever, man. He just shows up. People think he's a prank, until he's not. They call him the Mirror Man. A barista across the street won't meet your gaze. When she says it, they say if you catch his reflection, it's already too late. That he only shows up to people who are missing something, like a part of themselves. The story goes further back than the footage. You start digging. Forums, TikTok reposts, fuzzy blog posts dating back to 2016, even 2012. Same descriptions: white mask, dark hoodie, gloves, silence, always near nightlife, always leaving behind nothing but confusion. An archived Reddit post from 2019 reads, "Saw him near the Babylon Club on Fairfax. Just standing there. Whole crowd walked around him like he wasn't even there. I thought it was an art piece, until I looked into the bathroom mirror and he was behind me. I turned, nothing. The thread is now locked, author deleted." You check his profile, no posts since that night. Then you find Camille Navarro. She was a DJ at a warehouse party in Boyle Heights in 2020. Different club, different scene, same story. He was standing just outside the emergency exit door. No one said anything, not the bouncers, not the security guy, not the guests. Like they couldn't see him. But I could. I made eye contact, just once, and I swear to God, I heard him speak in my head. You ask what he said. She doesn't respond for 8 full seconds. He said, "I remember your face from before." That's all. I had never seen him in my life. Some of these whispers evolve into urban legend, others like Camille Carey. Trauma in their voices, but a few connect to real reports. April 2021. West Hollywood. A man vanishes after texting a friend he won't let me leave. August 2018. Koreatown. Fire alarm triggered with no smoke. Same mask caught on camera. No ID count from a October 2015. Silver Lake. Police logs mention a mute individual in costume loitering near to missing person's. Case's description matches perfectly. Time. There's no proof. The footage is warped, missing, or inconclusive, just like Halcyon. But then you get a call from someone who doesn't believe in ghost stories. LAPD Sergeant Kevin Rhodes, retired in 2023, responds after you leave 3 voicemails. He meets you at a quiet diner, orders black coffee, wears sunglasses indoors. You're not the first person to go looking for him. But I'll tell you what I told the kid from that podcast last year. If you think this is just some dude in a costume, you're already too close. He leans in. There's a pattern. We saw it in 15. We just couldn't get it to stick. To random, to clean. But the mask, that's not the thing that ties it together. It's the silence. He never speaks, doesn't breathe. And he never breaks eye contact once he's seen you. You ask if he saw the man himself. He lifts the sunglasses, only once, in a reflection, behind me. My daughter still won't sleep through the night. He slides a napkin across the table. Scribbled on it is an address. That building across from Halcyon, the one that's been empty for years. It wasn't always empty. Back in your apartment, you check the city records. 1319 Melrose, registered to a property development company, dissolved in 2006. Before that, it was a private film studio. Before that, in the late 80s, a psychiatric facility specializing in trauma response. Shut down in 1992 after 3 patients went missing. The final incident report, buried in a scanned microfiche file, contains one chilling line. Patient claims the man who took them wore no expression, just a blank mask. They say he lives in the mirrors. You close your laptop, and for a moment, in the dark reflection of your screen, you're not entirely sure you're alone. We now reach the heart of it, the part no one wants to speak about, but everyone remembers. The building across from Club Halcyon is more than just abandoned. It's forgotten. You push past a rusted gate, stepping over old flyers and scorched leaves. The building at 1319 Melrose looms ahead, 5 stories tall. Its windows dark and teeth broken. On its roof, a bent antenna still points to nowhere. The front door is chained shut, but the alley, the same alley where Jordan Vega vanished, has a loose fire exit. The city never bricked it over, no cameras, no motion lights. Just a heavy door and a silence so deep it feels padded. You step inside, the air hits you like a relic. Mildew, dust, and something faintly metallic. You shine your flashlight over cracked tiles, collapsed filing cabinets, an old exit sign turned backward. This was the place, a film studio once, a psychiatric facility before that, and somewhere within these walls, Jordan Vega walked, alone. At 1:13 a.m., you climb to the second floor. Piles of rotted film reels litter the hallway. There's a faint red X on the wall ahead. You follow it, room 206. The door is half open. Inside is a small recording booth, soundproof foam peeling like dried skin. A chair turned toward the wall. An overhead light flickers. Someone's been here recently. On the floor, you spot a single earring. Small, gold, crescent-shaped. You cross-reference Jordan's Instagram posts. In her July 12th story, just hours before she disappeared, she's wearing them, both of them. The official report never mentioned the building. LAPD's missing persons bulletin says Jordan Vega was last seen near Club Halcyon, and that no credible sightings have occurred since. But here you are, holding part of her jewelry on the second floor of an abandoned property just 50 feet from the club exit. You sit in the room for a moment and hear something, not footsteps, not wind, breathing, slow, measured, not your own. You spin toward the door, nothing. You leave. You run. But even as you burst into daylight, the sensation follows you, like someone brushing past your shoulder just after you look away. Later that night, you rewatch the final video Jordan ever posted, an Instagram reel from inside Club Halcyon. The caption reads, "City lights and good vibes." She's filming the dance floor. The camera pans across strangers, lights, colors, just normal, until you freeze the frame at 0:12. There, in the far corner, a white oval, blank, facing the lens, still, unmoving. While everything else blurs with motion, no one in the comments mentions it. Not one of her friends liked the post after 11:30 p.m. You download the video. Slow it to 10% speed, enhance contrast, try everything. But the more you analyze it, the less it makes sense, because in one frame the mask isn't on the man, it's on her. Theories flood the internet in the weeks after Jordan's disappearance. Theory 1. She staged it, performance art, to promote an unreleased NFT project. No evidence supports this. Theory 2. A club worker followed her out, and Halcyon is covering it up. A former employee was questioned, cleared. Theory 3. She never left the building across the street, the one police never officially searched. But then, something shifts. A new video surfaces, posted anonymously on a fringe crime channel, titled Jordan_Vega_1319_cut1. MP4. It shows a handheld camera sweeping through a dark hallway, room 206. Same peeling foam, same flickering light. There's a girl sitting in the chair, not moving, face blurred. She wears one earring. You freeze, you rewind. It's her, you know it's her, until the camera pans, and there, reflected in the soundproof glass, the white mask. Closer than it should be. The video ends with static, no credits, no metadata. It disappears from the channel within 24 hours, but not before 86 people download it. Not before 6 different channels reupload slowed down versions. Not before the comments begin to mirror each other. I saw something like that at a club in Oakland. In 2019, he watches through the glass. My cousin vanished the same way in Toronto last year. What if the mask isn't something he wears, but something he leaves behind? You sit alone in your apartment at 3:14 a.m. The screen glows with frozen frames of Jordan's face. A dozen open tabs for blurred screenshots. 3 podcasts speculating what she knew. And then your phone buzzes, unknown number, 1 message, don't look away, no contact info, no trace. You check the mirror across the room, nothing. You turn off the screen, but its reflection lingers a moment too long. Sunlight rises over Los Angeles like a lie, warm, golden, comforting, but it can't burn away the silence that settled on Melrose. Club Halcyon has reopened, lines form again, lights flash, influencers tag their location. The earring was never reported. Room 206 remains unspoken. Jordan Vega's name trends once, then fades, and somewhere across the street, 1319 Melrose still stands sealed, empty, yet alive in the corners of those who remember what shouldn't be real. You go back one last time. This time, you bring gear, infrared camera, EMF meter, a cheap body cam clipped to your jacket. You're not a ghost hunter, you don't even believe in that. But belief isn't the problem. What you're looking for doesn't seem to care what you believe. You enter through the same rear exit. Dust greets you like a memory. The silence is heavier now, thicker. You hear yourself breathe, but it sounds wrong, delayed. Like you're hearing a recording of yourself just a second too late. You climb the stairs again. Second floor, room 206. It's waiting. The chair is empty this time, but a fresh indentation is pressed into the seat cushion. The overhead light no longer flickers. It glows steady white, humming gently like it's expecting you. You film the room in 360. Nothing appears. You speak Jordan's name once, softly, no reply. You check the mirror, it's intact. You don't see anything behind you. But when you check the playback, something's there, only on video. A figure facing the wall, wearing the mask, still to still. When you rewind, it's gone again. Downstairs, you check the service records. A man named T. Grayson signed for electrical maintenance in 2006, just before the company dissolved. You look him up. There's no license under that name in LA County, no death record, no tax history. But there's a photo in an old city inspection report, white jumpsuit, face blurred, holding a clipboard, and in his reflection caught faintly in a mirrored panel. On the wall behind him, he's not wearing a mask, but the reflection is. You dig deeper. Old city archives, health department citations, files that aren't digitized, buried in microfilm at the downtown library, and you find something. In a 1989 inspection report for the psychiatric center that once operated at 1319 Melrose, there's a redacted patient note. Patient speaks of a tall man who appears in reflective surfaces, claims the man wears a blank mask and remembers. Faces that forget him, said the man is not real. He's a memory pretending to be a person. Patient disappeared during overnight storm, exit alarm never triggered, same pattern, same silence, same erasure. You return home and start logging. Your notes, timeline, names, photos, witness accounts, everything Jordan Vega might have seen. Everything Halcyon erased, everything the city tried to forget, but the timeline breaks in places. You see dates that don't match, camera metadata that flickers ahead by seconds, a reflection in your own footage you don't remember being there, a white oval half hidden in the corner of the mirror. And then the messages start again. Different number, same voice. The mask doesn't hide him, it hides you. You unplug your phone. You check the mirror, you say her name again, but this time, your voice echoes back into different tones, a split in the sentence, as if someone else said it at the same time. You go quiet after that. Your Reddit account stops posting. Your YouTube channel uploads an unfinished draft of a video called Jordan Vega, She Didn't Disappear. The comments section fills with questions. Where did you go? Did you find her? What happens in room 206? But you're not there to answer, because someone saw your face in the reflection bore. You looked away. So now you lie back. The screen fades to black. The last frame lingers, a cracked mirror, a faint oval shape in its center, and the quiet hum of a city that no longer remembers what it once saw. You close your eyes. You imagine the streets of Los Angeles at night, not the glimmering skyline or tourist signs, but the quiet corners, the alleys that hold old breath, the doorways where shadows wait longer than they should. The club is open again. Music plays. People laugh, dance, pose for pictures, and yet, somewhere behind the glass, something is watching, still, patient. A presence that doesn't need to move to come closer. A name never spoken, but never forgotten. Jordan Vega's story has no ending, not yet, because maybe it was never just her story. Maybe it was a thread tugged loose from a tapestry the city keeps trying to stitch back together. And maybe you sitting there now, in your room, wrapped in shadows and the glow of a screen. Maybe you felt it, too, that moment of pause, that itch behind your eyes, that pull toward the mirror you never meant to look into. Let it go. Let the mystery be, because some stories aren't solved, some aren't meant to be closed. They settle in your ribs. And wait for the next time you look, and something looks back. So take a slow breath now. Let the tension melt from your shoulders. You're safe here. You're not in the alley. You're not in the mirror. You're not behind the mask. At least, not tonight.